What's up guys, Phantom here back with episode 84 of my F1 2019 career mode as we are going to Sao Paulo for the Brazilian Grand Prix for round 20 of season 4 here as we go to Brazil 25 points ahead of Leclerc, so we only need 2 points to secure our third straight title of this career as we will go to qualifying.
So it's time for qualifying here at Interlagos, the Autodromo Jose Carlos Pache. The teams have completed their preparations and are just waiting for the pit lane to open before they take to the track. And as we wait, poised for the start of what will hopefully be a thrilling qualifying, why don't you tell us, Anthony Davidson, about the things you can do to really get the most out of a car in a session like this?
Well, you're largely limited by the Parc Fermé regulations, of course. Back in the old days, pre-2004, you'd work on both a qualifying setup and a race setup over practice, and then swap them over after qualifying. So the race car was quite different at times to the qualifying car. Nowadays, though, you have to find a compromise that works for both. There are a few things that you can still adjust during the session, such as the differential, the brake bias, and the front wing angle, but that's about it. So it's more about optimizing what you do have and adapting your own style to suit the track conditions.
As we start out here in Q3 as we are coming up to the start-finish line to start our qualifying lap here at Brazil, where we have struggled in qualifying but been really quick here in the race as we go through these Senna S's as we come onto the front stretch here to finish our qualifying lap here in Q3 as we go right to the next of the wall to shorten our length here as we come across the line in P9 as we are behind our teammate Ricciardo in P8 as Leclerc is in P3 as we will go to the race.
Where there's a will, well there's a way. And nowhere has that fact been better demonstrated over the years than here at Interlagos. Remember Senna winning while fighting a gearbox that was jammed in 6th? 5 Drivers' Championship deciders in a row between 2005 and 2009. And of course, the passionate Brazilian fans packing the grandstands to capacity every year. And they're not about to stop now. We're racing today then at Interlagos, a historic 2.7-mile circuit and one of the few anti-clockwise tracks on the calendar. 15 corners in total, 9 to the left and 6 to the right, with a technical middle section opening up to a flat-out Sector 3. And that gives us our best passing opportunity down into Turn 1. Anthony Davidson, thanks for joining me once again for the Grand Prix. Now, I'd like to discuss Kimi Raikkonen. As ever, the threat of unreliability is never far away, and indeed they'll be starting out of position today due to a power unit component change. So it's going to be a difficult task to move forward from there.
But on the bright side, at least those fresh components can help them maintain the power they need to come through the pack. I expect to see them take a more aggressive approach today to make up for the compromised start.
It's time to see how our drivers are stacking up after yesterday's exciting qualifying session. An immense lap from Carlos Sainz yesterday puts him in pole position, edging out Max Verstappen, who'll start from P2. Looking down the rest of the grid, we have Leclerc, Hamilton, Sergio Perez, and Norris, Albon, Ricciardo, Oldtimer, and Sebastian Vettel, Magnussen, Weber, Daniel Kvyat, and Grosjean, Butler, Bottas, Lance Stroll, and George Russell, Hülkenberg, and Kimi Raikkonen finishes off the grid. And now it's time to head down to the track.
As we sit here in P9 behind our teammate Ricciardo off there to the left of the 5 lights are on and they are on forever and they're finally away as Ricciardo seems to get a pretty good jump. We're going to immediately cover off Vettel there as we will look to the inside of our teammate Ricciardo as we are 3 wide right now as I'm going to get shuffled out here on the outside as we get a warning for contact as Vettel is just swept across and then like broken there in the middle of the track there as he is attacking Albon as we kind of just get out of the gas there as we really didn't want to think about going 3 wide there and I really didn't run into the back of one of them as we are coming up towards the long right-hander here of Albon, who looks pretty slow there, as we're going to look down the inside of him into this right-hander as we touch the side pod there a little bit. We're going to have to go side by side. We're on this long right-hander. We made it stick here as we are now up into P9 chasing after Vettel here who's stuck a little bit behind our teammate there, and he's pretty slow up the hill, as we're going to go down his inside as well, as we keep it clean here a little bit, as we're not as far out in front as we were with Albon, as we're going to go down the inside here for the right-hander here, and he's turned into us when we've basically made the move stick there. As now coming up to the start-finish line here, I'm going to give him the inside, thinking that he'd be a lot quicker down the straight, but he's just really on our quarter panel being annoying, as we have to give him room here into turn 1, as it's going to compromise us coming out of the corner, but we will make the move stick there and keep our position, as Leclerc has set the fastest lap of the race. As Jeff has recommended us pit a lot later than the game has normally done on lap 9. We're going on lap 12 here, as Ricciardo and Norris are really battling out here. As it's starting to rain here a little bit as we look to the outside of Norris, but we were never going to ever make that stick there. As Leclerc set another fastest lap of the race, as now we are attacking Norris here, who has DRS, but he's just so slow, as we will come down the inside of him, as we will squeeze him out here on turn 2. As now we will attack our teammate of Ricciardo, as he is looking pretty slow there down the straight, as he's mincemeat for us with the DRS here, as we are coming into the turn 1, turn 2. As it's starting to get a little bit slippy out here, as now he will have the DRS down the backstretch here, as we go really defensive against him, as he's pulling out to the outside there. We're going to brake a little bit early, as he's going to hold it around the outside of us, as we have to give him space, as he is our teammate, as we are going side by side up the hill, as he will have the inside, as we hold it around the outside here, as he gets a little bit ahead as we come back here a little bit, as Jeff has some information for us.
On Leclerc, they seem to have an issue.
As that is really crucial, as we finally get ahead of Ricciardo there, as we are coming up onto lap 10 here, but Leclerc is going to be slow, as he will drop back to us, as Ricciardo is attacking us here at turn 1, as we manage to keep it and hold it. As a couple of people are coming into the pits at the end of this lap, lap 11, as our pit is next lap, but I really wanted to come back at him, and I had a feeling Ricciardo was coming into the pits at the end of this lap, but I really didn't care. I really wanted to wrap the title up, as Leclerc would be absolutely slow with this problem there, as we will unfortunately double stack here a little bit, as we actually get held there a little bit by the Haas of Weber, but Ricciardo, I kind of screwed him over there, as I really need this position to really help us out, as Vettel has managed to jump us in the pits there. As you can see, it is really starting to come down in the rain here a little bit, a lot harder than it was earlier. As we come onto the start-finish straight here, we will come against Vettel here, who is being really a pest for us this race, as he's really been really annoying. As we go up the inside, we actually go deep, and so we will be really compromised here coming onto the backstretch here, as the Ferraris have really dropped off the map this year, as their development have been really terrible, as we really hold Vettel out there. He kind of ran into the side of us as we come on to the last lap, as we almost have a moment here at the exit of the hill. As you can see on the mini map here, as Perez has won the race, his teammate Leclerc, who's battling us for the championship, he needs to finish within a point of us, is stuck behind the group behind us, so he will not be able to keep the championship rolling. And with this 5th place finish, we will win the championship.
Wonderful drive. You're now the driver's world champion. The team want to say thanks for a brilliant job this season.
And with that, another year of Formula One draws to a close. And a new World Drivers' Champion is declared. Another entry added to that prestigious list of the sport's most incredible drivers. What a fantastic Grand Prix that was, and an excellent win for McLaren. Anthony Davidson, how do you think they were able to set themselves apart today?
Well, I know it's a bit of a boring answer, but the truth is they simply had the best speed package on the day, and a driver who knows how to take advantage of that. It doesn't matter how much time you spend poring over the stats and planning strategies if you can't keep the pace, and our winner today showed they could do both.
So, let's review the drivers' standings. We also crown a new champion today, as their lead at the top is now an insurmountable one. What a great year it's been for Formula One. After an incredible day of racing, who was your driver of the day, Ant?
Kimi Räikkönen is my standout today. Nothing you could construe as showboating, just an incredibly consistent performance out on track.
Nothing can challenge the leaders of the Constructors' Championship at this point. But with that result, McLaren can no longer be touched at the top of the table. They've had their ups and downs this season like all teams, but they've weathered the storm and come out on top. McLaren are world champions once again. Another team that will be satisfied with this Grand Prix is Alfa Romeo, whose good result moves them further up the championship. Well, that was certainly an incredible weekend of racing. Be sure to join myself and Ant for more exciting Formula One action soon.